I'll be the camera catch him. Korra said his grace to the Avatar state. In fact, he won't be Banku state. Look at Avatar Aang. Avatar Aang got frozen, right? He came back and realized that the Fire Nation has wiped off the Air Nation. You think he should go straight to the Fire Lord and kill him straight away? But he used sense to learn all the bending before you go and meet them.
Paul,
listen to what I'm saying.
With Aang fans, look, you guys, you have like something Aang would do, and then you guys will be like,
So what's the biggest mistake? What's the biggest mistake Aang made? What's the biggest mistake Aang made?
So he ran away and then the world got it together for 100 years. That's the biggest.
Change the storyline.
What do you mean?
What are you saying? 100 years. How did he correct?
The second bad decision.
You make 4 bad decisions, and every time we tell you that you been through a lot.
Paul, are you listening? Look, the second bad decision, he lost the Avatar state. He nearly ended the Avatar cycle. Do you think I'm lying?
Well, yes.
Look at you.
Prove it.
Hey. And Azula shot him from up there, and then he fell down, and then he died.
Is it his fault?
What do you mean?
He entered the Avatar state. This was Azula's fault. Korra said his grace to the Avatar state.
Right.
She doesn't deserve the Avatar state.
Hello guys, and welcome back to New Film, where we talk about movies, series, and everything in between. Join us as we discuss, debate, dissect, and deconstruct your favorite movie shows. Today, I'm here with very enthusiastic and passionate panel where we're talking about something very exciting. Before I continue, I'd just like to introduce them really briefly. Hello.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Paul.
Yeah, hi. My name is Hanif.
Alright, so I'm here with Hanif and Paul, and today we are going to be talking about arguably the best animated show of all time, which is Avatar.
Right.
Yes, so as we know, this February, Avatar celebrated their 20th anniversary. And as part of that celebration came with the announcement of a new show, and it is called Avatar 7 Heavens.
Right.
What do you guys know about that?
So I think from the synopsis they've given so far.
Yeah, so I'll read the synopsis, but just like a quick what you know about it. And I read the synopsis and we go into it.
So I think the story talks about like Airbender, who is a twin.
Yeah.
I think that's meaning it. Yeah.
And I've also heard a few rumors about the fact that I think one of them is an amputee. And with the trend of the Avatar cycle, we definitely know it's definitely an airbender. An earthbender. So I think it's a twin.
It's a twin. Yeah. All right. Sure. So I'm going to just read the official synopsis from Nickelodeon. They said that the series is set in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra, but in this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Hunted by both humans and spirit enemies, she and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins and save the 7 heavens before civilization's last stronghold collapse.
Right.
So basically, what we get from this is that in a new era, the area is now divided into 7 havens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in this new era, there has been some very cataclysmic events.
Yeah.
Right.
And now the Avatar is not even deemed as the hero of the world, but more of a villain.
Okay.
And we have people hunting her down. And now like their spirits and also humans hunting her down. So now she has to join her long lost twin. So it implies that she and her twin are estranged.
Yeah.
And then they have to come together to be humanity's stronghold.
Okay.
So judging from this, there has been a lot of debates and discussion online on Twitter and stuff because they mentioned the fact that spirits are chasing her, humans are chasing her, the whole place is in chaos. So why is it Desiree? Is it Korra's fault?
Yeah.
And if it is Korra's fault, if we are saying it's Korra's fault, are we accurate in judging it as Korra's fault? Because we can say, oh yes, it's Korra's fault because from the past we've seen that Korra has done this and this and this. Or we can say, oh no, it's just something that happened as a result of some things. It's not Korra's fault because in the past Korra did this, this and this. So we can't just entirely blame her for what's happening. So what do you think? Do you think it's Korra's fault?
Yes, what he thinks.
I think I'm torn between two things, right?
Okay.
So it's either from the time she opened the portal, right, where she brought in. So it happens that now spirits are now part of the human world.
Yeah.
I think that's where it starts from.
Yeah.
So I think that is why people may tilt towards the fact that maybe it's her fault because she initiated everything.
Hanif, what do you think?
Yeah, so I feel like yes, the Korra haters or the people that already felt like she wasn't a good character would jump on this and then chomp on it about the fact that the Korra was the previous avatar and then the new one is going to suffer because of something she did, right? And the fact that we don't know what she did is what's causing this whole debate and everything. So I feel like yes. I'm also hearing rumors about the fact that it's true that it's related to the spirit portal that she opened. And with that, I feel like good things happen because the opening of the spirit portal and then the harmonic convergence combined helps the airbenders to come about, right? It's brought about the airbenders. So yes, if you are talking about some of the bad things that she could have, like yes, maybe she made some bad choices in opening the portal, right? Yeah. But yes, you can also say that she did good things. And I feel like the cataclysm that happened, I don't think it was her fault. I feel like it was something that needed to happen. Maybe she had to do something. We don't know yet. I feel like she had something. She had a very good reason.
Right now, we're all speculating. And the only way we can be able to speculate is based on what she has already done. So you have to analyze what she has done to possibly suggest what she might have done in the future. I also think one big argument that has come up is harmonic convergence and opening the portal. Was it a good thing or a bad thing? Now, as you said, this is a discussion we'll have. One of the good things that came up was about the reopening of the Air Nation.
Yes.
And then some of the bad things were like, now
the spirit
finds and all of that.
Right.
And then also with the spirits world, as some people are also saying that, she brought spirits and the spirits are bad and then they are causing havoc and all that. Some people also argue that Avatar 1 had the choice to either allow the spirit to roam or not. It was his job to bring balance.
Yes.
Was it a good choice to just separate humans and spirits? Did that bring balance, or bringing balance actually means having the spirits come and having us go through the phase where we find our differences and then are able to live together in harmony? So if that's the case and that's a good choice, then it means that the spirits aren't the bad thing as people are saying that,
Korra did,
So now I think even in quotes, good things that are the results, people can justify them that saying, like the Air Nation thing, that it's not even necessarily a good thing, it's something that could have happened. And some other people's bad things, you can also justify that it's not necessarily a bad thing, she made the right choice.
So from the cataclysmic event, like what I was saying that once you open the portal, you don't know what is coming, and so you accept everything that comes. So I feel like maybe the cataclysmic event is probably like maybe the spirits are vexed or something, and because of that, they unleash something that probably tries to annihilate the world or something like that. So I think that's where I feel the cataclysmic event comes from. I don't necessarily think somebody spooked something and then all of a sudden,
right.
And then for me, I feel she shouldn't have opened it, right?
Okay.
You have what's the name? You have avatars who have existed before you. There's a reason why it was closed.
Okay.
So you speak to them, right? You speak to them and then come to a certain conclusion. You remember the time that Avatar Aang, right, wanted to go and fight Ozai. People were like, you need to kill this guy.
Yeah.
You need to kill him. He was like, no, I don't need to. And then he spoke to the other avatars and they were all like, you, finish this guy off. Then he meets a certain turtle who tells him that, look, there's another way you can do this.
Okay.
That is, remove his powers.
Okay.
So it got to the end where he felt like, look, I can't kill this guy. This is the option I have.
Okay.
Give yourself the options. You trusted your uncle. And then now you've opened the portal and then you expect that, we should all side with you that, that was your only option.
Okay.
That's where my point is. Her character is in such a way that she makes certain rash decisions and then it affects everybody in a whole, and people want us to say, she didn't have it easy. So if she did it, then we should take it like that. So that's where my problem is with Avatar Korra. She's just rash, And the thing about her team alone is even another. Her team are not coordinated enough. You understand? She doesn't have a coordinated team. Look at Avatar Aang, right? He has Sokka, he had Toph, he had people who, if he needed at least some wisdom, he could also consult them and go like, look, this is what we want to do. This is how we need to do it. Mm-hmm. You realize that even when he was going to fight Fire Lord Ozai, right? He had people who were like, look, we can do this with you. Go and do that. But you see, Avatar Korra, she wake up one morning, she's somewhere fighting somebody. Yeah. Look at Kuvira's case. You are sick. You are sick. He said, no, I'm going to fight Kuvira.
No, but in that case, should she have just sat down and done nothing?
No,
yeah,
consult.
And let them take the meta, because no matter
right,
what she
consult.
they were going to take the meta.
Look, were you expecting that Korra will stand there and beat Kuvira and clear the whole army? One person. She can't do that.
I mean, she could. She's an avatar.
No, but she can't do it.
In that situation, we also knew that she was sick. And
yes.
Also, but the thing is, we all said, learning from Aang's time, Aang, everyone said Aang should be violent, but he tried to choose peace. Yeah. But in this case, Korra tried to choose peace. So she said she's going to talk, but Kuvira wasn't ready to talk. Yeah. So at that point, what else could she have done?
I felt like, look, the fact that you are sick alone means that you can't face this guy with your with the abilities you have. Think about it. You remember the time where Avatar went into the Avatar state, right? And then Azula, Aang went into the Avatar state. Azula, lightning. Yeah. He could have said, okay, no, Avex, let me go again.
But he took his time.
He took his time, healed, came back and said, okay, you know what? I think this is the better way we can go about it.
So it means you're just trying to say that she was ill-prepared in the fact that she doesn't...
In fact, she was not prepared at all.
Time to analyze. So at the end of the day, so basically at the end of the day, you are saying that you think her opening the portals was a wrong decision. Yes. And the main reason why she made this wrong decision was because she wasn't able to take her time to talk it through with other people, other avatars, and come back with like a solution.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so for me, I feel like opening the spirit portal is neither here nor there.
Okay.
Right? Because all of the avatars made the decisions, or they made their choices based on the time they were in.
Yes.
And the era they were in. Yes. Right? And most of the times, but the only thing was, one didn't have any other avatar to consult. He was the first one.
Yeah.
So he had to stand there and then make the decision, right?
Okay.
And then the fact that she opened it doesn't mean, like I said, it's not here nor there. Okay. Because it was based on the time she was living in, right?
Okay.
She saw that, she understood what the spirits were. I think the whole of the season 2, I feel like the season 2 was trying to make us understand the spirituality of the avatar, being the bridge between the living and the spirit, right? So she felt like, if she's the bridge of the spirit, why should I close one side and then live on the other side? Because remember, the avatar is not only human, she's also spirit.
Yeah.
But sorry to interrupt you on that. Sure. But on that point, she's being the voice of the spirits.
Yes.
But did the spirits say they want to come into our world? Because it seems like they were very annoyed as to the fact that they have to be interacting with human beings.
Fine.
Even based on some of the things we saw where where the spirits were like, I didn't ask to be brought here, you brought me here.
True, fine. But you can make the same argument for 1, 2. And 1, 2 didn't ask the spirit if they he didn't ask them. The spirit didn't tell 1 that they wanted to go back to their place.
Okay.
Did he?
No.
He didn't. Okay. So it's a choice that the avatar has to make, right? So it's like he has the veto, she has the veto here, right? She can decide, say, okay, you spirits, you guys go to your place. Or you spirits, come and join us, and then let's interact. And with that, I feel like the opening of the portal is, like I said, neither here nor there.
Okay.
And speaking to her character, speaking to Korra's character, I feel like she was a very good character, well-written character. Yes, some of the seasons didn't do justice to her. Maybe the season 2, some part of the season 2. But I feel like she had it the hardest. She went through so much and wouldn't have been able to go to some of the things that she did.
Okay.
Because like some of the things she had to go through, I mean, suffering from PTSD.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie. And she had to fight.
You're talking about PTSD in Avatar Korra.
And within those 4 villains, there were small, minor villains in there. You get it? And then these villains were like top tier. They were not like, small people that, you could trifle with. But she had to go against them and then fight with all of them. You get it? Okay. So I feel like opening the spirit portal is either here or there. And then whatever happens, I mean, she's the avatar. So I think like she said, she's supposed to maintain balance in the world. Okay. So I feel like the fact that she opened it doesn't mean that the world had gone into,
Turmoil
the balance had tilted or anything. I feel like during her time, that's what she needed to do. Okay. And that's what she felt like she needed to do. Even Tenzin was happy that she opened it. Do you get it? And some of the people that were spiritual during that time, they were happy that she had opened the portal. Okay. Yeah. So,
but then at the end of the day too, it means that whatever happens, you take responsibility for
absolutely, that. Absolutely.
And I think one thing that we also fail to recognize is that Korra was sort of an agent for change because there's a lot of things she did in her time. First, one was like the Earth Kingdom. The Earth Kingdom was like very monarchical. Okay. But she played a vital role in trying to bring a sort of democracy into the Earth Kingdom. So I think she was sort of like an agent of change. Yes. And that was one of the reasons why she decided, because she was like, you've done things this way for so long. Let's try and make a change. Let's see how that will work.
And to add to the change that you said, like, I think they were also bringing it back to the same decision that Avatar 1 did, right? So, for example, Avatar 1, like this, he didn't have any Avatar to consult, and he made a decision to close it. But in Korra's time, because she is, like you said, the change, but she also, by then, she had lost all the connections to the other avatars. Okay. So, it's like she's the first Avatar in her time. So, she also does the opposite of what one did, and also opened it. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah, but then that's also another thing. A lot of people say that Korra continuously sets herself up for disaster because of the choices she makes. And at the end of the day, she has to now fix it. And when something like this happens, even though we can sympathize with her and we know that some of it is not basically her fault, but she's also responsible for some of the things that happen because she was the one that's initiated the whole thing in the first place. So, for example, the severing of the avatar of the previous avatars. So one thing that is very unique about the avatar is that aside from going into the avatar state where you can harness other powers, the wisdom of all the avatars are stored. So it's sort of like a library where you can go and consult and get some advice and some information that you didn't have. And because of the events that's happened during the Vatu fight, she lost this connection. But some people are also saying that it is not her fault for this.
Absolutely
but
not her fault.
Also, it was some of the decisions that she took that led to this.
I mean,
so the people who are saying this are like, so maybe if something happened in the cataclysm, it wasn't her fault. But what shows that it wasn't the decisions that made
her fault.
Listen,
it's her fault.
The avatar, like,
it is her fault.
As like a spiritual library for her, right? But you see, these things are also things that Aang also had issues with. Right? The fact is, it was just that, like I said, she had it way more difficult than because look, when Aang died, I don't know if you guys know this, but he actually died. He even said it himself in the first episode of the last book, right? He said it that he was gone. If not for Katara, Anka Aang had been a goner.
But that's not the plot. That's not the plot you're talking about.
We didn't have Korra in the first place, right?
No, that's not a problem.
But hold on.
The plot of the story is to bring Aang into the picture.
The conclusion of that point.
Exactly.
I mean, what I'm saying is like we are giving her so much hell for the fact that she lost her her spiritual the avatar state, or she lost the previous avatar, right?
No, but
you see, like you said, decisions that she made, right?
Yeah.
She also decided to make a decision to meditate at a point where they are fighting.
Okay.
Wasn't that a good decision?
And even that you can even argue that the main reason why Aang lost that battle was because he failed to let go of
Katara.
Yes. And that's the reason why he wasn't able to get to the point where he was supposed to get to.
So you see two decisions there.
But
those decisions are not cataclysmic events.
To counter that,
they are not cataclysmic.
Those decisions that didn't end up in severing.
Yes, true. But that's what I'm saying.
Talk to him.
So now this is where my point of him having a better team comes in.
Who created the team? Who creates the team?
What do you mean? Okay, no, but you see, that's the dynamic of the whole thing. Right? The team, they don't select their friends.
Yeah,
they go there and then they meet them and then they interact and then they realize that, look, you are a good person. Or I mean, sometimes no matter how good you are, you might not be what do you call it, the best bender.
Yeah.
Luckily for Aang, the people he met, they were the best of the best.
Okay,
do you get what I'm saying? Korra met Marco and Bolin when she went for pro bending.
Yeah.
And then it was a sport. And during that time, bending had become so like everywhere to a point that everybody could, it was even a sport now. Do you get it? And then now the friends that she made, they were not top tier. They were not.
No, but
I mean, if you're mentioning, they will not be top 5, right? Luckily, Aang had a waterbender who was a prodigy in healing. Right? So he died, but he didn't have. If Korra maybe also had a team that was like 75.
She creates the team.
No, but the thing is,
you are the responsibility for your team.
But the thing is,
you're responsible for your team.
Skills aside,
yes.
Aang's team also was personalities based
Exactly.
on how they are. So you can't just say that because
and their character development was even better.
I mean,
and even aside that, you can say that almost every person on Korra's team was a prodigy of some kind, because Malco was a great firebender.
Okay.
He was a lightning bender, and he was a prodigy. He can even rank him as one of. Later, as he grew, he was one of the best firebenders.
Okay.
Earth bending, Pauline was able to master lava bending, which was like a very big deal.
But you see, that's the difference here. He's not even top 3 in the world. He's not top 5 in the world. Right? Do you get what I'm saying?
But top is not top 3 in the world.
What do you mean? Top is
not top 3 in the world.
Look,
she's what? If she's not top 3, she's what?
Look, top is
not top 3 in the world.
Listen to the top 3.
She's even beyond
that. If I'm going to mention the top 3, I'll mention Boomy.
Yes.
And I'll mention Top. And then I'll put Kuvi right there.
Kuvirano.
Look, hold on. Listen. Okay, so
she's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah, she's somewhere there. Yeah.
Now, but you can't say Pauline.
But listen, the first 2 that I just mentioned, they were on whose side?
Aang's side.
So you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like in their time. The whole, I think something about.
But then, you see, all what you are trying to say is that you are coming from the bending side of things that she didn't get for. But mind you, Korra was an exceptional bender, and a lot of people's issues with her wasn't her bending, because she was a great bender.
It's not
but everything else.
The problem is not the bending; it's her ability to execute her skill set on the battlefield.
That's why you see, that's one thing that everybody has an issue with. A character always has something. Aang like this. I always had an issue with his pacifism.
Yeah,
I always had that issue
too.
with him.
Me
and
too.
you see, with Korra too. So yeah, it's fine that you guys have a decision with the fact that she doesn't make. Also, she's kind of rash.
Yes,
but I also like the fact that she grew within the movie. Right,
but
she
grew to where?
I mean, she grew. Like you saw her progress.
If you compare a 12-year-old to a 21-year-old, and look at and the fighting Aang was producing.
They are different people.
They're different people.
Look,
Korra started her journey with 3 bendings. 3 of them.
Mastering them.
Yes, mastering 3 of them. You had Aang who had just 1. You are telling me that somebody who is 12-year-old mastering all 4 at 12 years, and somebody mastering all 4 at 21 years.
But then it also
Aang is better than Korra.
But also boils down.
And her fighting was not the best. You are telling her at 21, you can't beat your opponents man to man. I'm sorry.
I mean, look,
she was
21 years.
Where was Aang when he was 12 years?
He was seeing some ice something.
Who put him in?
He put himself there.
Whose decision was it?
But it's a plot. That's the plot of the story.
But
that's the plot of the story. It doesn't help.
No plot.
At 3 years old, you knew that you could master fire, water, earth.
You see the double standard.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You see the double standard.
It's not double standard.
We have here.
So you see, that's where when you say that Aang was too good at times,
yes.
I would disagree with you, because even though it was good, he has his flaws.
Yes,
and that is how the character
is
began. So at the beginning of Aang, he was frustrated and he ran away, and because of that, something happened. But later he got to end up what's the word? Live up to his responsibilities. But with Korra, and this is something I read somewhere that I agree with. They said Korra doesn't have a character arc. She has a character seismogram. So one season she goes up, the next season she comes down. She goes up, she comes down.
Okay, fine.
But
listen, you see, with Korra, like I feel like the reason why sometimes people didn't enjoy Korra's decision was, I think Aang had given us a portrayal, a certain portrayal that we love, right?
If you set a standard, meet the standard. If you can't meet it, I'm sorry.
No, but
Korra was basically like the opposite of
I think
Aang, right?
It's not my problem.
It's
not my problem if somebody has 3 bendings at the beginning.
No.
3-year-old. A 3-year-old can master
the point is that,
and look, she knew when she was 6, she knew that she was the avatar. Your man was 12, he didn't know. Do you get it? If he had known when he was 12, if he had known when he was 6, don't you think he would have also been bending?
No, but they told him that you are going to be the Avatar.
And what did he do?
He ran away. That's what I'm saying. It's the plot of the story. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. What's the name? It doesn't change anything in what we saw in Avatar Aang.
Korra also trusting her uncle was also part of the plot.
What do you think? Is her uncle an Avatar?
No, what do you mean? Who was
Avatar?
Who was Aang's avatar?
Oh,
I think
Avatar Aang went to the Avatar state and was talking to people.
And look,
Korra went to trust her uncle. You trust Avatar to her uncle.
Of her for trusting her uncle, right?
Yes.
I think in the beginning, you people don't appreciate the fact that we all thought what she was doing was right.
No,
who told you?
At a point, hold on. I think you have to speak from your point of view because at a point, it got to a point where she failed to listen to everyone else who had been with her from the beginning.
Exactly.
And just alienated them
for
a new person who
so I think
you've just met.
That was the problem of the season 2.
Yeah.
The fact that I think we have seen her grow a bit in season 1 and then season 2 is like she just went.
Season 1 says she no grow. Right? Season 1 she no grow.
And even with that,
season 1 she no grow.
I read a few explanations for that and it kind of made sense to me about the fact that she had always wanted to be the Avatar. Since like we saw in the beginning. Yes. She had always wanted. So she felt like that was her identity. Right? So when Aang took those bendings away, she felt like she had lost it.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Now, when I think everything ended and then Aang came back and then gave her the bending back, she felt like she had regained the identity. So I mean, if I've gotten my identity, it's like she had.
I think
that's no. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change.
I'm not saying from my. That's what I heard. And
but I think
it doesn't change anything.
The fact that her losing the bending makes her lose her identity as the Avatar.
Yes.
It's a point where she should learn from.
Yes.
So when she now regains
she should be learning.
Bending, she should now realize that no, I'm more than
impatient,
just my elements.
Yes.
So now that's the point. So
irresponsible.
At this point, she has learned a big lesson, and she should be able to grow from
and
that. But we don't see that growth.
So in the season 2, that's where the whole issue comes.
From 2, 3, 4, she's not growing.
Everybody goes and then starts to hate her.
Kuvira is what season.
And look, some of the things she was angry about actually made sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The reason why her dad was moved from the South Pole to the North Pole, her dad hadn't told her what it was.
Okay.
And then it means she was from the South Pole. I don't know if it was North or South. But I mean, she was from somewhere. And then the dad didn't tell her that. Okay. And then when she was training to be an Avatar, she wanted to go around and learn.
Yes.
Like all the Avatars before her did. They would go to the other nation and learn. But after her, they confined her.
Yes.
Do you get it?
But did they explain to her why she was confined?
They all said it was to protect her from, I think, Zahir and all of them.
When she was a child, once they realized she was an Avatar, there was an attack on her.
Yes.
And they were able to protect her.
Yes.
So they kept her in captivity, which I understand. That's the thing. I get the fact that because she has been so much closed away, she wants
freedom.
Yes, but the point is that's season 1. So when you start at season 1, everybody should be like a very flawed character. Right. So at season 1, at the beginning, she was very, and I think sometimes they went overboard, but I can understand. She was very annoying, and she even ended up, and that's I think one of the things that made her character unlikable.
Yes.
But the fact that you start as a flawed character, you should be able to learn from experiences because a lot of things happen to her, bad things happen to her. And when bad things happen to you, you're able to learn from it those. And grow to ensure that bad things don't happen. But in Korra's case, bad things happen to her. She learns from it. She forgets.
In fact, she doesn't learn.
Hold on.
Another bad thing happens to her.
She doesn't learn. She has never learned in her life.
So let's confine those two things alone to the season 1 and the season 2. So the season.
Where do you start from? Where do you start the series from?
So is the season 1?
So you want us to go to season 3 before we know that she's growing?
Hold on.
Come on, man.
In the season
you can't tell me
1,
this.
she had grown a bit during a
She didn't grow anywhere.
And she regressed in season 2. Right? Yeah. And then at the end of season 2, we saw her grow again. And then from there,
where did she grow?
Because she didn't come back. I mean,
so Avatar Korra versus Kuvira's situation, was it a growth?
Kuvira?
Yes.
What situation was that?
The first time she met Kuvira.
Oh, come on, this matter I've always said.
Somebody is sick. You say you are sick. You are going to fight somebody. You say you've grown.
You see,
is that maturity? No, sir.
Paul.
In
this
case,
thing that you are saying, it's not true. That's not what happened.
In this case,
that's not what happened.
She knows that she's sick.
Yes.
But Kuvira is doing something that she needs to stop. Now she says that she wants to be a pacifist. She doesn't want to go into
let's not fight. Let's do this peacefully.
Yes.
She wants to talk. And then she went and the talking didn't work. So she has to fight. So at this point, what should she do?
Try. If you were Korra, and then you were sick, and then they were about to you know that whatever you do, they'll definitely take the city.
So you have people.
Hold on. What do you mean you have
people to talk to?
Which people? Which people?
No, but
people
even
to talk
if
to.
you talk
Wait,
to
which
people,
people?
what should she have done?
You flew down there thinking
Which-
you would do what?
Wait, hold on.
What was she
Come
expecting?
on, which people?
What was
And
she
look, and see,
expecting?
this thing that you were talking about, the other avatars giving
Wisdom.
wisdom and things. Look, the other avatars also had.
Their
I'm
flaws.
not
Yes.
saying they were not great.
Mhm.
But I'm saying that
they
they
all had
also
their
had their flaws.
Yes,
Look,
exactly.
look at Ozai. Look
But
at Legion
the
of
point,
Ozai.
the point
All of
is,
them said
No,
they
wait,
should kill.
wait.
He should
but
kill.
the
Wait.
point is,
You get what I'm saying?
one big thing you said, and it's true, is that all the avatar had their flaws.
Yes.
That means that they all have things we can learn from.
Yes.
Exactly.
Why
Yes.
it's very important.
But-
Korra
for us
is
to
not
be
a
able to
learner.
understand
Oh,
them.
Korra is not a
listen,
learner.
but listen, you see, you are saying that she should seek advice from who?
Why she don't get people she
No,
she
but the
dey
point
for?
is-
Who makes
the
she seek
point is,
advice?
at
Because look, the people that should have seek advice for,
Mhm.
Kuvira go lash them.
No, I'm not saying that go and beat her.
Okay, so what
You are
at this-
facing an
what
army.
would be- what
Listen,
would
let's
have done?
look at Avatar
would have-
Aang's
what would-
situation
Mhm.
when Azula was coming with that turning thing
Drill.
to drill into Basin.
Yes.
So Aang should just run straight into her and destroy the whole thing. No.
So
He had people, throw this, divert, all of those things. You are facing an army. You can't do it on your own.
but look,
but
you
the-
see,
You don't expect to go into and expect that Kuvira will come. What I'm saying is, she's a villain, right? Kuvira is a villain. You don't expect to go into the situation and then Kuvira go, oh, because of that,
Paul.
we are going to stop. Who told you that?
Paul,
She
at
will
this
not do
point-
it.
So you do already.
So
At
think
this
about
point-
it.
Paul,
Think about
coming.
Think about the both situations.
I'm
Think
coming.
about the both
I'm
situations
coming.
before you
Wait,
enter.
You don't think about it.
Paul,
Right now.
Listen
Paul,
to another thing. Listen to another thing.
No, before you go to
Avatar
another
Aang,
thing,
right? Look at
before you
Avatar
go to
Aang.
another
Look at
thing,
Avatar
let's talk
Aang.
about this.
Avatar Aang got frozen, right? He got frozen and he came back and realized that the Fire Nation has wiped off the Air Nation.
Uh-huh.
You think he should go straight to the Fire Lord and kill
What
him
would he
straight
have
away?
done? What
But
would
he
he have
used
done?
sense
No,
to
what
learn
do
all the bending before you go and meet them.
Paul,
It be sense, bro.
Paul, relax. What you are saying, if you saying all that, relax.
Paul, look, these things that you see,
You
you
know
are
that-
oversimplifying.
you know that-
This thing is
you know that-
oversimplification.
No, what
You
I'm
know
saying is that
Aang
there are two
failed.
scenarios.
I'm coming.
Aang
There
was
are two
running away
scenarios.
from Ozai.
It's
Wait,
either Kuvira
Aang was running
or
away
you
from
go for
Ozai.
peace.
Paul,
So it's
do you
two
know
things.
that-
Look,
Do you
from the
prefer
beginning,
for both?
Paul,
Boss,
Prepare for both.
Paul, wait.
You don't
wait.
prepare
From
for
the
both.
beginning of
Then you
the-
go and face it, then you go and fight.
Look, from the beginning
Paul,
of the
please.
Paul
Yes.
never wanted to fight
Wait,
Ozai. Paul
wait,
always
wait,
hey,
wait,
listen,
wait,
Paul.
wait.
Aang always
Calm
wanted
down,
to
Charlie.
Calm down. See, you are saying all this, but you fail to acknowledge that even with all Aang's advice and everything, he failed to free or save Basing Se, and Basing Se got captured by Azula.
Fine.
So in this case, it
Oh,
can be
that one
said
they're fine.
as the
That
same
one they're
thing.
fine.
No, wait.
It can be said as the
No,
same thing that
no, wait.
Korra
That one
wanted
they're
to save
fine,
the
but
city.
Korra they're shisha.
But Korra was
Double
unable to
standards.
save
It's not
that
there's
city.
no double
Look,
standard.
with you guys,
So
with you
now,
people,
what do you say?
No, what
for
I'm
that?
with you
saying.
people,
Well,
look,
listen to what I'm saying.
with Aang fans, look, you guys, you have like something Aang would do, and then you guys will be like,
So what's the biggest mistake? What's the biggest mistake
Korra will
Aang
do,
made?
then you will be like, hey, shit.
What's the biggest mistake Aang made?
So wait,
What's the biggest
we are
mistake?
now
I'm asking
comparing
you.
What do you mean? What's the
I'm
biggest
asking you.
mistake?
Are we now
He
comparing
ran away, and then
mistakes?
the world got into chaos for 100 years. That's
It
the biggest
doesn't
mistake.
change the storyline.
What do you mean? It
What
doesn't
are you
change the
saying?
storyline?
It doesn't change the
He ran
storyline.
away.
The plot
He caused the world to go into imbalance for 100 years.
Oh, Masa.
What? So what?
That's
You
not
said
the
it was
plot of the story.
What are you talking about?
If Aang died within a few years, another avatar would have
Hey,
come in.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The plot of the story is not that Avatar died. The plot of the story is that he came back and realized this scenario. So how does he correct it?
How does
he correct it?
100 years.
100 years. How did he correct it?
the second
He
bad
corrected
decision.
it.
The second bad decision.
You make 4 bad decisions, and
Paul,
every
the
time we
second-
tell you that you've been through a lot.
Paul, the second bad
No,
decision he made.
but
You
at
make
this
4
point-
bad decisions,
At this
and you
point,
tell me that you've been through a
at
lot.
this point,
Paul,
if we are
Paul,
comparing
Paul,
mistakes, then
Paul,
Aang will lose
Paul,
because
Paul,
his
Paul,
one mistake
Paul,
was very
One time
bad.
the guy ran
Paul,
away.
Paul,
One time the guy ran away.
One
Comes back
time
and
the guy
corrects
ran away,
it.
bro.
He
At
comes
this
back and
point-
corrects it.
No.
You make
At
4
this
bad
point-
decisions.
Hey, look, listen,
And you're
listen.
telling me that
Are you
4 bad
listening?
decisions.
Are you
You're
listening to
telling me she's
yourself?
been through a
Paul,
lot.
are you listening? Look, the second bad decision, he lost the avatar state. He nearly ended the avatar cycle. Do you think I'm lying?
Well, yes. Prove
Oh,
it.
look at you.
Prove it. Prove
Hey,
it.
hey. And
No,
Azula shot him from up there, and then he fell down, and then he died.
Is it his
Because I-
fault?
What do you mean?
He entered the avatar state.
it's
It's Azula's fault. Was Korra's looking at somebody's entering the avatar state, right?
Hey,
To
you mean
fight.
is that where to enter avatar state? You have.
I'm in control of the avatar state.
Look,
I use it for what I want.
Try it.
Listen, Avatar Korra was racing with kids.
No,
She used avatar state to pass it. So
try
what are
it.
you using the avatar state for?
Try it.
What are you
Try it.
telling me?
Paul, I
Try
can
it.
tell you that was Aang's fault.
Try it.
Avatar
Try it.
state
Thanks
to
for-
Try
beat
it.
kids in a race. You are telling me that you don't know what to use that
No,
for.
no,
You
no,
have
no.
a place to use the avatar state.
That was-
Listen,
What are you
if
saying?
me and you, if me
Let
and
me
you,
tell you why that was Aang's fault. It was Aang's fault because he was supposed to have mastered the Avatar
Long
state.
time.
Because
Before
he
he
was
got
supposed to let
there.
go of Ketara. If
It's-
he had let go of
it's
Ketara,
when-
That's
Master
what I'm
Kakashi
saying.
became-
That's what I'm
He
saying.
wouldn't have
He
to meditate.
corrected his mistake.
What do you mean?
he
he
didn't
corrected it?
correct a mistake.
No,
How did Korra ever correct a mistake?
Oh, come on. What are you talking about?
How did Korra ever risk?
Oh, bro. Like,
She went to
look,
beat
look.
Kuvira. You were going to the spread
Paul,
quarter and come back.
Paul,
Then tell me that you
Paul,
beating Kuvira.
Paul, look.
What are you telling me?
Aang situation. It's like you and I, we are on the roadside.
Yeah.
And then Kwashe boys comes and then catch us. You were supposed to train yourself in martial arts, but one training, and then you came and then Kwashe boy catch you.
So I've got an advantage.
Then now,
It's the Avatar state.
now that they are
I use
beating
it
you,
and somebody hits you.
now that they
You
are
say
beating you,
it's a
you are like,
problem.
oh, let me try and remember some of my moves before I come back and
It's
fight.
not remembering.
Then we'll
It's a
kill you.
boost. No, it's a boost. What are you telling? It's a boost.
The reason he
Avatar
was in
state
that
is a boost.
the reason
What are
why
you
he
saying?
was in
He
that
used my boost
situation.
and
Boss,
it didn't
but
work.
he got jumped and then he realized that he couldn't. And it's like, oh, yeah, let me
So what is the Avatar state for? Why is
What
he
do
an
you mean,
avatar?
what is it for? What is
No,
it for?
the point is that even
The
with that,
point is- Even with that-
Korra is using Avatar state to raise kids. That is where you draw the line between where we use the Avatar state.
no.
What are you telling me?
Paul,
Somebody nearly ended the Avatar
listen.
cycle,
No,
and
no,
then you're
come on,
also
come
saying,
on.
It's not him who ended it.
the issue
Who
is
ended it?
Paul,
Who ended
listen.
It's not him who ended it.
wait.
He's actually Avatar state. Somebody.
I need
somebody said.
everyone to listen. I need everyone to listen.
The
Wait,
Korra-
wait, I need everyone to listen. Your point is you are saying that they said he used it in the wrong time. We said no. It was right for him to use it in that time.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the reason why he delayed and got hit was because
We are
he
talking
didn't
about the
master
decisions
it.
they made.
And he wasn't able to master it because
Fine.
he failed to
It's
let
a
go
decision.
when he was supposed to.
You see what I'm saying? Double
No,
standard.
but
So he
look-
made a
look at his
decision,
decision.
and that's
Similar
why.
Did his decision?
And
Did
do you
his
know
decision affect
Do you know that?
the whole
Paul,
world in a whole?
Paul, do you know that?
Did it?
Paul, do you know
Did
that?
it?
Paul,
It didn't.
He ended the Avatar.
Paul, do you
How
know
did he
that?
have ended
Wait,
the
no,
Avatar
the
cycle?
100 years issue, what was it?
No, let's finish with this point. Do you know that they told Aang that in his avatar state, if something bad happens to him, it has an impact on the avatar state itself. And he still allowed himself to be
And
hit
then what happened?
during the avatar state.
And then what
The
happened?
only
You see?
reason why he didn't cause irreparable damage was because Kitara
Kitara was
saved
there
him.
to save
That
his
was
ass.
the only reason
Somebody
why.
saved somebody.
When,
Or
when Commander Zhao,
somebody
when
saved
Commander
somebody.
Zhao-
Or
when Commander Zhao captured him, do you know who came to save him?
who came to save him?
Zuko.
So
Zuko had to come and save
nobody tell him say
What are you
can't save
talking
him.
about?
Nobody tell
And
people
look,
say can't save him. What are you saying?
One of the
See,
double standard issues.
the thing
One of
about
the double
Korra
standard
fans is
issues
that
I don't like about the Aang fans is
Mhm.
look at Zuko's character.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the series, people realized that he was following the Avatar.
Mhm.
All his aim was to capture the
Yes.
Avatar, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then look, at a point, we saw like we actually saw a point where it's like he transformed.
Mhm.
Where Iroh actually taught him.
Yes.
Then he was like, oh, okay, like it's learning.
Right.
He even got to hang out with Katara.
Yes.
Right? They hanged out and then it
what's
looked
the
as if-
problem there?
it looks as
Wait,
if
let
everything
him
was
finish.
good. It looks as if everything was good, right?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, when Azula came and then was fighting Aang in the air kingdom, what did he do? He switched again. So
what's the problem?
Look, we saw.
What's the
hold on,
problem?
coming.
hold on,
That's
my
the problem.
point is-
Wait,
look,
wait,
That's
wait,
the
wait,
problem.
wait.
Hold on.
I meet my sister, I say I go
So
join my
are you
sister beat
telling me
somebody.
that-
hold
You
on,
say it's a
wait,
problem.
Let me
Ah,
make my
wait,
point.
wait.
Let me make my
Uh-huh.
point. The
Finish
point
your
I'm making
point.
is right. People are giving Korra hell for the fact that she grew and then she regressed again.
She
right?
didn't grow, bro. She didn't
The
grow.
same thing I'm telling you about Zuko. It's the same thing that happened to Zuko.
But
The
Zuko
thing-
is not
the
the main
thing about-
character.
Oh,
Zuko
yeah.
is not
Zuko
the
is
main
good.
character.
You can't.
I'm
Zuko
just
is not the main
Zuko is not
character.
the main character.
But I know.
And also the
But I'm saying
second
that-
My
thing is
sister
that
come and say I won't help him. You say it be problem.
But
no,
see,
the
see,
second
that's
thing
the
about that is that
he's a
no, the
character.
second thing about that is that for Zuko's own, he was very inconsistent at the beginning because he was battling with himself.
Mhm.
Once he was able to overcome that, his character grew, and then
The point
but
I'm making is he
Korra-
was also a
Korra
character
got
like
to
Korra.
that point where
The only
she-
difference is she's main.
no, see,
She's what?
the thing is that
character.
Korra also got to a point where she had an internal resolution and she was supposed to grow, but after that, she still failed to grow, and that's where the issue is.
She has
Because
never grown. That's the problem. She has
she
never
has
grown.
made progress.
You see,
Progress.
You see,
The
for me-
progress
for me-
is 0.1%. It's not progress.
Paul is just saying stuff because
Okay.
He
Oh, my
has
brother.
emotional
I'm
attachment
coming.
to
I'm
Aang or
coming.
something.
Emotional attachment to Aang.
So
Korra is a
Um,
beans avatar.
that's unfair to Korra.
That's so unfair.
So
And it's only Aang people that will say that.
listen, I think at the end of Legend of Korra,
Yes.
what happened? Korra went into the
Spirit world.
spirit world,
Yeah.
and what happened?
I don't know. Maybe you'll have to read the
He doesn't know.
Go out and-
Ladies and gentlemen, doesn't know
Do you
what
know why
happened.
I've made that point? I'm making that point.
Avatar Korra and Kuvira went to a spirit. We went to have a tete-a-tete and came back.
Mhm.
That's all. That's the whole plot. That's the whole fight. They went and came back. They went in and came back. That's the end of the fight.
It's a different.
They said Korra has formidable villains. Korra has formidable villains. She went inside, went to talk to her and came back. That's how you end the fight.
Let me.
That's formidable for you.
Paul, I
Ladies and gentlemen.
haven't finished making my point.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Avatar Korra for you.
Okay.
Formidable.
So my point is that right now we are trying to judge Korra's character and trying to ascertain whether she might be responsible for the cataclysm. Now, the way the show ended, she went to the spirit portal and then we don't know what happened.
Right.
So now with that ending, it will be very easy for me to decide that as an avatar, you've opened the portals. You should be present to ensure that everything goes smoothly.
Right.
We should see you working to be accountable and be responsible for the decision you've made. But at the end, we found out that she's gone to the spirit portal. And that as an ending gives us the chance for us to say that even with the way things ended, it makes sense, or we can say that Korra is actually the one responsible for this, because even the way it ended, it looks bad for her.
Okay, fine, no problem. I don't mind with and like you said, I mean, it was the end. I don't know if maybe people follow the comics and then saw what happened.
We are not reading the comics.
I read somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are not reading the comics.
Yeah, she stayed in the spirit.
The fact that we have to read the comics to explain who Avatar Korra is, we are not reading any comics.
Hold on.
Even we are looking at the movie, we are not looking at the comics.
I'm trying to make a point.
We will not look at the comics. We will not look at the comics.
No.
When we watch Avatar and we didn't know there were comics. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to read any comics.
Yes.
So you are saying that from the comics?
Yes.
I'm not really sure about that. No.
I said we are not going to read any comics. We are not going to read it.
Paul, please.
Spider-Man said we don't read the comics.
Paul, please.
So that's why you don't get information.
No, Paul. No, wait. So you are saying that you've opened the realm to allow spirits come into the human world.
Yes.
At this point, don't you think the human world needs to be more an avatar to be present? Because opening it is just a decision. The only way we can justify if the decision was right or wrong is how you handle it. Now you've done this big thing. Shouldn't you be present to ensure that this thing you've done, you are, because now we know that humans can't face spirits because they are stronger than. So in order to bring balance, you have to be present to ensure that they're able to live together, because you say you want them to live together. But then if you go to the spirit world, doesn't that mean that you are setting the humans up for disaster? The decision that you've made,
she set them up for disaster. It's not that she's setting them up.
Responsible to ensure that their decision is being taken.
Avatar Korra is a very irresponsible avatar.
That's not.
I mean, yes.
Very responsible, very rational. Does not learn her lessons, and all her villains have beaten her one on one. All her villains.
This goes back to
all of them.
Everyone has been beaten at some point.
In fact,
a good hero doesn't mean that you shouldn't be beaten.
Hey, you know the people
a good hero is a hero is able to bounce back from.
Aang's villain was Fire Lord Ozai. As far as I know,
he's saying that
Aang's villain was Fire Lord Ozai. Did he do the job?
Right?
Yes, please.
I said, do you know the people that captured Aang for
it's not my business.
People with arrows.
Fire Lord Ozai was the main villain.
People with arrows.
Fire Lord Ozai was the main villain. Was he beaten? Yes or no? Yes. Avatar Korra versus Kuvira. Who won? I don't know. They are still having a conversation until now.
There's a difference. You see, there's a difference between Ozai and Kuvira. Kuvira started as a good person. That's the thing you don't get.
It's not my problem.
Hold on.
It's not my problem,
look,
bro.
Kuvira.
You're bringing me the life story of Kuvira. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. Beat them.
Villains, right? They all started with actually good intentions, right? I feel like all of them.
It's not my business, bro.
Because listen.
It's not my business.
Zahir also wanted the world. He said he wanted the world to go back to its natural.
Is Thanos a good guy or a bad guy? Ladies and gentlemen.
Gain back here, listen.
Is Thanos a good guy or a bad guy?
Gain back her spiritual ability to engage with Rava again. Wasn't us here? Because he saw what Kuvira was doing. That was not what he stands for. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, all of her villains.
Is Thanos a good guy or a bad guy? Thanos. Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Look, as perspective, Thanos will be a good guy.
No. You see, that's where
Thanos going to be a good guy.
That's where I disagree.
You see, Avatar Korra fans.
No. That's
you see your Lord. See your Lord.
Wait.
Avatar Korra fans, see your Lord. Now Thanos is a good guy.
Ozai is a bad guy. Why is Ozai a bad guy?
I'm not saying he was a bad guy. I'm saying that.
I'm
saying there's a difference between the two.
No, but Ozai
was continuing something that was already there.
Yes, what he believed is the right way.
So what's the problem?
It's the right way. He believed that the Fire Nation is so great. They have to extend their influence.
My point
that is the same way that what's his name? Zahir believed that we should send things back to the way they were.
So you're saying it's perspective?
Everybody, it's perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
It's perspective.
But listen, Kuvira's case is different from Ozai.
Why?
No, because look, in this case, right? In this case, Ozai is trying to take over the world, right? Even at the end, he
It's
said,
his job.
No,
What are you saying?
What do you mean
I'm
it's
doing my
his job?
job.
Yeah,
I'm doing my job.
No,
Fire Nation, that's our job. I'm doing my job. Is it a crime to do my job?
Look, you see, there's a difference here. You see, you guys don't get the difference that I'm talking about.
I'm doing my job. You say I'm a bad person.
Paul, let me make my point. Let me make my point. Look, the Fire Nation, during Sozin's time, their aim was to take over the whole world, right?
Yes.
True. Good. Now, were they able to?
No.
For 100 years, they were not able to because there were a few Earth nations that were there that they couldn't do, right?
Exactly.
So the main reason for Ozai's villainy and everything was the fact that he had to capture the whole world.
That's his job.
And that was, that one is true. It's something that he has to do. But in Kuvira's case, her case was that the fact that there was, Zahir had killed the, what do you call it? The Earth Queen, right? And then the whole of
power vacuum.
There was a power vacuum, and then the whole place was in chaos. So what did they have to do? They had to go and send someone to keep the balance, right? Hold on, let me finish. And then when she kept the balance, she decided to say, okay, look, like I said, she started with a good intention, right? So she went there to go and save the Earth Kingdom. But when she did it, she got power hungry. That was the only issue.
Is it my fault to get power hungry?
No, but
it's not my fault to get power hungry.
That was what happened.
You said power hungry. Is it my fault to get power hungry?
With Ozai, all of the people that came before him, all of them wanted the Earth to be for the
their job.
But
what are you saying?
Initially, it was only the Fire Nation.
Kuvira got power hungry. Is it my problem that I get power hungry?
There's two differences here. Come on.
It's not my problem you get power hungry. You say power hungry.
Relaxing.
I get where you're coming from.
It's hard.
But at this point, we can't say that.
You're not getting anywhere. Let's just
we can't. We are not getting anywhere. I think. The main reason why we are here is
not understanding my point.
We are just trying to talk about like the new Avatar series.
Right. Yes.
And so I think now what I want us to discuss is like expectations and anticipations for the new Avatar series.
Right.
So I think the first thing is that now this new Avatar is going to be an Airbender,
right.
And from sources, she's I think she's amputated.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so she's our first disabled Avatar in quotes, and she's also an Airbender, and she's a twin. So what do you think about this new Avatar they are bringing? I think before you guys go on, I think the first thing I have to say is that one thing I'm excited about is that the original creators for the last Airbender are the ones who are actually going to
champion
this. I've forgotten their names.
One of them, I've forgotten their names. Dante, Michael Dante, and the other Brian.
So for that, I'm excited that because they are like the original minds. It's always good if they are the ones to champion this. But one thing is that with so many changes and so many things happening, I think it's either a hit or a miss. So it's either it's very good, or it doesn't really go very well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that it might actually not end up being great, which will be a very unfortunate thing because I'm very excited about it, and also because of the legacy that 20 years of legacy building, basically.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And also, I think one thing is that for this series, based on the current announcement, they are going to do it 26 episodes. It's going to be in 2 parts. The book 1 is 13 episodes, and the book 2 is another 13 episodes. And I think if the plan is 2 books, they should try as possible to end it at 2 books.
Yeah.
Because I think one issue I also had with Korra was that it was too long. They tried to make 4 seasons, and then the stories kept going off. I think they started veering off when they went into energy bending and spirit machines, and they brought tanks and all that. I think the story started to veer a bit away. So if they're able to keep it simple within the first 2 books, if maybe they need to add even anything else, maybe 1 more book to summarize it, but they should try and keep it as true to the source material and as very compact as possible. But that's being said, what are your expectations? What do you think about the new?
So I think it'll be also nice to see like a storyline within the series where they talk about what happened before the cataclysmic event. So whilst they are telling the story of the new Avatar, they are also telling us the story of what happened before the cataclysmic event. Yeah. I think one thing I would be excited to see is if actually maybe what happens is that the 2 of them can actually enter into the Avatar state. The twins can it will be a very.
From
I
what
think
I've seen,
one
it's
thing
only
Paul will be
one
happy to
person
see
that
is
is
the
twin.
fact that the whole thing is Korra's fault. One thing you'll be happy
Oh
to
no
see
no
is
no no
that.
no, no, no.
But I think at the beginning, I was also thinking that the twins are both the Avatar, but
Yeah.
it seems like it's only one person that is the Avatar.
Yeah, I think 2 months
The
ago
twin
I
is
heard a
just-
rumor that it was the two of them.
Yeah, right now it seems like it's just the one person that is Avatar. The other one is just her sister.
Yeah, but like what I'm
So you're
saying
not
is
like
that
twin Avatars.
I'm saying like if you have a situation in the movie where you realize that there's a share of the Avatar power or the Avatar state, the two of them combine and make
It'll be
something.
an
Yeah, it will
interesting-
be an interesting one.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's likely to happen.
Right?
But at the beginning, I also thought like they were going to be twin avatars.
Yeah.
And that sounded really cool.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah.
But it
It would have been
seems
crazy.
like right now it will be only one twin that is Avatar, but the
Yeah.
other one will have like a significant impact on the story,
Right.
even though
It's the two of them.
or he
But I
or
mean,
they
yeah,
might
I
not
mean,
be.
two avatars might have been
there.
a bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it would disturb the story of. It would disturb the idea of the fact that Rava is one spirit,
Mm.
like
So
the light spirit. So
if
maybe
that
sharing
happened,
that.
It might now happen that one will be corrupt and become a
Yeah.
dark. But then we don't want
Yeah.
the twins fighting or something. So I think
Yeah.
that's not where they wanted the story to go.
I think
Yes.
I think another thing
Hmm?
would be to see like her learn each of the bendings.
Yes.
like-
Aang did, like
Yes.
with Aang's
And
story.
I think also
we saw him
because
learn them.
she's disabled,
Mhm.
it will be interesting to see
How she bends.
she
Yeah.
bends,
Yes.
how she adapts that into the Avatar, because we've seen a lot of representation
Yes.
in the Avatar series.
Yeah.
We saw the
Sparky boom guy.
Yeah.
we saw him with the
Yeah.
metal.
Mhm.
We also saw the scientist or the mechanic that was working with the Fire Nation.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that was working
Oh
with
yeah, the one with the bomb. That's
Mhm.
not going
yeah,
to help.
his child had
Was a
but
flying
he
thing.
was flying even though
Yeah,
he
he
was-
was
Exactly.
yeah, he
and
was
then
a
we also saw the Red Lotus, the water lady who didn't
without
have
without
arms.
arms. Yeah,
Using
yeah.
the-
So it'll be interesting to see how she's going to take on various elements and how it will be portrayed
Yes.
using like this
Right.
ability. I think it's very
Mm.
it will be very interesting to see how
And also,
she'll do
I'm
that.
also very
Huh.
excited to see. I mean, I'm expecting quite a lot. I mean, some drama in the. I mean, because like you said, they are twins, right? So
Mhm.
I mean, and like you said, it's like they are
They're
estranged.
And even from
right?
what I
Yeah.
heard, it seems like one grew up in wealth and one grew up
Exactly.
like, so there'll be a lot of
So I mean, and
yeah.
another thing I would also, and we are looking at the fact that one is the avatar. I mean,
Mhm.
you end up meeting your twin, and then you realize that she's the avatar.
yeah,
And
that'll
in
be like
this-
a lot to deal with.
And the case too is this during that time too, people hate her.
yeah,
They
Yeah.
are trying to kill her. So I mean, I'm
Hunting her
expecting to
down.
see a lot of drama there,
Right.
yeah.
where maybe the one who's not the avatar thinks she's too powerful, or maybe there's an event where maybe she will have to fight maybe her sister, or maybe someone will try to convince her about the
Mhm,
fact that maybe her
mhm.
sister is not good.
yeah.
And I'm also excited. I'd like to also see some of the few characters from Korra's world. Maybe
Yeah, I don't
one
want to
or
see any of them.
I mean, some people are actually saying we might see Iroh, because we understand he lives in the spirit world now,
Yeah.
because you might see him. And then I mean, a few things I'm very
Maybe we
excited.
can see Milo.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, true. Milo. And then I mean, I'm excited to see. And one thing I'm also expecting is, like I said earlier, always is the humans that cause problems with the spirits. Always. So look, what I'm expecting to see is, yes, maybe Korra opened the spirit, whatever. And you
But
see what
someone
Korea-
did something.
Somebody wanted to use their spirit energy to do something, and then it caused an issue. And Korra, because had to save the world, it caused this cataclysm.
Korra cannot save the
And
world.
yes, and one thing that this
If
guy
she even
will not
tried.
want to accept
Mhm.
is the fact that Korra has been confirmed with this. We don't know the details yet, but I feel like I can say with some level of certainty that she has performed she's the strongest avatar. Or
It's a lie.
She is the one.
It's a
who has
very
performed
big
the
lie.
greatest- Hold
A
on.
very, very, very big lie.
Let me explain my
A
point.
very, 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 very big lie.
finish.
It's a lie.
Paul.
It's a lie.
Because look,
Paul, off your mic.
we are looking at
No,
look
just
what
put it
Kyoshi was able to do was separate maybe one island, right? But it looks like what Korra did, she had actually separated the four nations.
But who says that she's the one
Separated
that
which four
created
nations?
all the seven havens?
I
No one-
should
Hold on,
say.
hold on.
What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that. I mean, yeah, exactly. And you can call her the mother of avatars now.
Hey,
Yeah.
please, please scrap this out of the video. It's a
And look,
criminal
like I
offense to
said,
say
and you
this.
see, with because the harmonic convergence had just ended, I can say Rava is at her strongest. Therefore, Korra is also at her strongest.
Mhm.
Did you get what I'm saying? So for now, she's the strongest avatar. Apart from maybe if J1 for me.
No. No.
Exactly. She's the only avatar.
No, she's not the only avatar.
Listen.
Just because she can't talk to the avatar doesn't mean they never exist.
Oh,
Aang's statue is still there.
Yeah, I
His
know.
statue is still there, Republic City. But now I'm sure maybe one of the fights Korra had, but now she has destroyed the statue.
No, I mean
the statue is still there.
The statue had already been destroyed already. I think by
yeah.
he came to destroy the statue, I think.
But still, I'm sure he has another statue. Their memory still remains.
You will not convince me. Look. I'm sure that when we start watching them, we will understand that there are 4 nations that we know were foreign. They've now been divided, and it was Korra who had divided them with her Airbender.
There's no.
What you feel?
No.
Like you said, you can leave it to speculations. And with the 7 havens that has now been created, it means yes, probably there are no 4 nations
no one
anymore.
is saying that. What shows that 7? Them being 7 is a good thing.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying that the fact that they are now 7 havens, like you said, it's speculations. You could decide, say, okay, maybe they are still together, but maybe they've been divided. Or I can also say she bended the place into island.
Now Avatar Korra become Kyoshi.
I think the movie will come and then you see.
She has now become what? Continent.
Who knew? Come on, Kyoshi did it.
Yeah, but she only did that
for an island.
Exactly. What? I think Sora can do that.
Bro.
She can do that, but she can't divide all the.
But if it was Aang there, like he would be able to do.
No, even Aang, I don't think he can divide all the.
I'm not going to say that.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Paul is waiting for this one to come, and then you see an act where we see that this whole thing that happened is Korra's fault. Even if it's not a fault, Paul will come and tell us that it was a fault.
Yeah.
But let's watch.
Anyway, yeah. So
I'm
I
sure
think
it is the human being's fault. They went to create a machine and then they destroyed it.
Right now, ultimately, we don't know. It's only speculations.
Yeah, absolutely.
But from some of the points that were made, there is a good chance that Korra might have been responsible for this. There's also a good chance that she actually prevented it from being worse.
I'm not listening to the chance that she caused it.
Oh,
I'm not listening to that chance.
Of all the plenty arguments we've made, the fact that
he didn't give me any proper argument.
One thing is that no. But one. Even the last thing I said, the fact she being in the spirit realm and not being present, that alone can even be enough reason, leading to a cataclysmic event.
But you see, like you said, we don't know what happened.
That is my point. So I'm saying that from the conversation we've had,
yes,
we don't know for sure, but it can be either way. It was
actually the best thing that happened that she did. It's actually a good thing that's
what I said. Yeah, so I'm saying that right now it's speculation. So it's from the conversations we've had, it could be that she is the reason why
it happened.
Things became so bad. And it could also be that she even prevented things from being worse than they could. But it will be interesting to see an avatar who is not loved by society, how they actually are going to navigate. Because we knew that Aang, it got to a time where Aang had to convince people that, oh, the avatar is real, the avatar is good.
Yes.
And even that was interesting to see.
He even had to make up a story.
Yeah, at some points, he had to hide his identity and all that. But during Korra's time, she was so proud because everyone knows that the avatar is the savior of the world.
I think that goes back to my point I was making earlier that Aang and Korra were very different.
Yes.
Korra wanted to be an avatar. Aang didn't want that
responsibility. But the thing is, during Korra's time, it was desirable to be the avatar because of the foundation that was left by the avatar before her.
Who?
Aang. Aang did so everyone loved Aang as an avatar. He had his own city. So it was desirable to be the avatar.
Yeah. I think Roku wasn't that much of it.
Yeah, Roku didn't do a very good job.
I think they called him a nationalist.
Yes.
And you see, it was his fault that Sozin had.
Yes.
You see, that one there, you don't give him
yes,
for that.
I'm coming.
But that one there, Korra is the one that's doing
Roku, me, I don't like Roku.
All
the avatars have their flaws, but we digress.
Yeah.
Yes, we digress. So I'm saying that it will be interesting to see how she's going to handle this. Yeah. And I think before we go, I also think that I heard way back that there was also another project in the works showing us the grown-ups in Avatar. And that would be very exciting to see.
Very true.
So even though today is about, I think it's just something worth noting that it will be interesting to see a grown-up Aang and the gang doing their thing. Yeah, but I think from what we've said, there's so much to look forward to.
Right.
We are very excited and we're anticipating how things will go. We are yet to find out if the Korra stans or the Korra fans who is going to be in the wrong. Whether Paul will be happy
The ones hypnotized by Korra. That's the word.
Right now. Even with this, I'm sure after this, Paul and I will have our own
one because. But and definitely once it comes out, we'll also be here once again to discuss it,
of course,
to dissect and to talk more about it. But I hope you all are as excited for this as I am, and we can't wait for this to be out. So that was it for today's episode. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Welcome to New Film. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share to anyone who you think is a Korra fan. Korra fan or Korra hater.
A Korra fan.
A Korra hater. All right. Thanks, guys, and goodbye.